So here's the flows section. Flows are combinations of messages that help you interact with your subscribers. Now all of them are gathered here, but perhaps for an easier search you can use this menu on the left. And for example, all of the flows that are connected to your opt-in messages, which is part of the growth tools, right, are going to be here. And let's pick, for example, this flow, which is called a test flow. And what we have here is on the left, you're going to have the messages in the flow. Okay, we have all the messages in the flow. Here's the visual part of each message. We also have, so this one has two buttons, yes and no. And we can see the CTR, how many people clicked on each button. And we have the amount of people it was sent to, how many people it was delivered to, how many people opened it, and how many people clicked on the buttons. Okay, these are the statistics behind each flow. Now let's go back. And we also have keywords, sequences, welcome message, default reply, and main menu content, which are parts of automation. And same thing, guys, you want to see the flows of your sequences. So here they are, click on sequences. Now, maybe to visualize it better, you have this option here, and this maybe is easier for search as well. You can visualize everything by clicking on this button here. And as you can see, this is the test flow. You see, we can see it here. Maybe this way it's easier to navigate, okay? Because this way you see the text, and this way you can also see the, the messages in with pictures and everything. Now, let's pick the test flow, and we have the statistics for it as well. So we have 14 runs, and it was modified on this and this date. We can rename this flow. We can duplicate this flow as well. For example, I've just duplicated it. And we can share this flow, which is a really nice option, guys, because we can either download it as PNG. So we're going to have this visual part as a PNG image, and we can send it to friends, maybe to check our flows. And we also have the link sharing embedding. So if somebody has this link, they can therefore see your flow in Manychat. We can turn it off, turn it on. And guys, now let's go see how we make the flows. Let's go make some flows. Let's go have some fun. And we do it by clicking on new flow here. Let's call it the review harvester. Although we're not going to be creating the harvester now, we're going to be doing it really soon after we finish understanding how Manychat works. So this one is the review harvester. Let's create this flow now. And here's the basic builder, but we will not be using the basic builder for our flows because Manychat now has the flow builder, which is much easier to use and is very easy to understand as well. It gives you a bird's eye view on your messages, actions, and other parts of your flows. So let's see it now. Click on the button here and let's go to the flow builder. Yeah, the flow builder, guys. And the reason why we're going to use it and not the basic builder is because it's much more comfortable. Remember, I've mentioned the bird's view. Look at this. You can see all of your messages. Okay, you can zoom in, zoom out. You can move them around. The bird's eye view simply wins, guys. But let's start creating our flow and click here and let's get creative. So the first message of our flow can contain all these tabs. Okay, generally any message. So let's start from text, the most simple tab. And we can add text to our first message. Let's do it. Let's say, hey friend, so howdy today? Oh, good, for example. And now I have this message here, and let's see if it's working. Let's see if the Manychat can send this one. So for a test, we're going to use this button preview, and it's going to send this message to me because I'm logged into the Manychat. Okay, so let's check how it works. Let's click on preview, and the message sent. Well, the message was sent. Let's go to my Facebook now, and here is my message. Hey friend, so howdy today? Oh, good? Awesome. So we've got the message, but what else can we add to that message? We can add some emojis, guys. And emojis are super awesome at all times because, well, and we should aim to add, so to say, the emotion connected to whatever we're writing as an emoji. So, hey friends, so howdy today? Oh, good? And a smiling face, because why not? We can also add all sorts of emojis. Manychat has many of them. So, I don't know, guys, enjoy, use them. They're really good. So next is variables. And let me show you something really cool. Okay, we can use first name as a variable, and this will pull the data of Facebook and is going to input the first name of your subscriber. So for example, instead of using friend here, we can delete it and add the variable first name. And look what happens. We're going to click on preview. All right, the message was sent now. And look at the message. Hey Vova, so howdy today? All good? Now it's inputting my first name, which is Vova. Cool, right? So go back to Manychat now. And another cool trick with the variables. So for example, this one is first name. There is the fallback section, and it says fallback is used when user data is inaccessible or too long to fit. Also, it lends counts towards maximum symbols. So for example, instead of first name, whenever the bot cannot find any appropriate first name, so to say, it's going to fall back to something else. So for example, hey there, the word there. And in this case, and when it's not going to recognize my name or there's going to be some problem with the data, it's going to say, hey there, so howdy today. All good? I hope you understand it, guys, because it's really good and powerful. You should always use fallbacks just in case. Now, there are many other variables, and let me show you something cool I've prepared. I'm going to delete everything here and Control V. All right, guys, so we have all the basic variables here, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send it to my, again, as a, so to say, as a preview, and we're going to go through each of them, okay? And then I'm going to explain you about each one. Again, there are quite many of them, like first name, last name, full name, page name, the page name that you have. For me, it's going to be my personal page. Maybe for you, it's going to be your cooking page called Mom's Cook Today. And then we're going to have the page ID, the user ID of the specific Manychat user, a last text input. So for example, let me do something cool. Let me say, heyo bot, or hey bot. Okay, just remember this. And then last seen, when the subscriber was last seen, the gender, the local where he's from, and the language he's using. So let's, so to say, do it now. Let's preview it and let's see what happens. And there it is. So we have my first name, my last name, my full name, my page name, because it's Vova Evans, same as my page name. Here's the page ID, the unique Manychat user ID, the hey bot. You remember, guys, that's the last message that I've sent, and it kind of copied it, okay? Here's the date, here's the time, here's the gender, so location, and language. Now let's go back to the bot. And one thing to add about the text, guys, is the character limit. So, for example, let's delete everything here. And our maximum character limit is 640. So, for example, you see, it's gonna count, which is really nice. And if you have long messages, eventually you're gonna finish on 640. Now, let me show you something else. Let me show you an image. Okay, so for example, let's write down, hey friend, here's something to improve your day. And I click on image because I want to add an image, and I have some prepared here. Let's add this kitten. Yeah, now it's ready. Now, one thing, guys, to add is that on the Flow Builder here, the images are not gonna appear full, but in reality, they are gonna come full, and here they are full. So let me show you how it looks. Let's click on preview and go Facebook, and here's the text with a message. Hey friend, here's something to improve your day, and the little kitten. Images are nice, guys. You can use different images. You can send them to your users to interact with them. It's really nice. People love it. Now, next part is the cards. Okay, and we're gonna leave the message here. Now, what is the card about? Let's add an image here as well. It's part of the card. And let's add this one, for example. Look, cards are good for maybe online stores. Like if you want to sell something as products or show off your products to your people. For example, let's say this one is a cube, right? Special cube, 20% off today only. And there's the URL for the card. So once people click on the card, they're gonna go to your website. Let's do just, for example, Amazon.com. That's how it's gonna look. Let's test it on the field. Again, we click on preview and we have got a message. Hey friend, here's something to improve your day. Special cube, 20% off today only. Oh wow, that looks good. Let's click on it. And we're on Amazon.com, guys, exactly as we have typed in the bot. Now let's go back to the bot. So these were cards. Cards are awesome, guys, to show off products, to show off whatever you want to show your person. We have the title here, a little description, and a link to send the person somewhere. You can get really creative with this. And let's go to the gallery part. Now, gallery is like mini cards together. Let me show you. So our first part of the gallery is going to be, well, let's use the brain. So it's going to be brain and our new product. And we can send them to, again, to some website, Amazon.com. And then we have the next image. Okay, we can use a few here. Let's use this cube. Cube is back at 99% off. Crazy deal. And we can again send person to Amazon.com. Let's preview it. Let's see how it looks. Look at this. We have the same message, and we have our new product, the brain, but also there's the cube. The crazy cube is back, and you can add others, and you can maybe go back to the brain and play with them. That's the gallery, guys. Really, really nice. I'm going back to the bot now, and let's see what other stuff we have. After the gallery comes the list, guys. And let me tell you one thing about the list is that it's pretty much the same as the gallery, because you can add an image here, you have the titles, the subtitles, and it's going to be pretty much looking the same. So you can add elements, you have like 3 things in your list, or maybe 4, whatever you choose, guys. Now the next part after that, let me just get rid of these 2. Awesome. The next part is having audio, video, or simple files added to your bot. Now let me show you. Now let's click on file, for example, and let me choose a file. So we have the Convert them, which is my free ebook. Let it load here. There it is ready, and let's send it out to me. And usually these take a bit more to send, because it takes kind of a while to upload, but let's check it out inside. Maybe it's ready. No, not yet, but it should appear here in just a few. For now, we have the gallery here, guys. Oh, there it is. Hey friend, here's something for you to improve your day. And since we still have the gallery, it's there. And here's the book. You can click on the book and look, you can download it now. Cool, right? Now let's get back to the bot and let's check out the delay tab, guys. Now the delay one is really cool. Let me just delete all the others here. Let's clean it up a bit. And we're gonna leave this message here, the first message. Then we're gonna input the delay. Okay, so what's the idea here? Let's click on it and we can set up a delay between the messages. So let's say 10 seconds, and there's the little tick here that says type in action. It's gonna show typing during the delay. So this one is gonna, so to say, humanize your bot, right, as we mentioned before, and it's gonna be showing while the bot is gonna be typing for 10 seconds, the user is gonna see it as typing. And what's the purpose behind these? Is maybe let the person read the whole message, or just humanize the bot and show some different messages with different delays. Well, what we're gonna do is simply add a 10-second delay here, right? We're gonna add another text. So, hey friend, here's something to improve your day. Let me think, what should I choose? So he's like thinking, and then yes, it's a quote. Stay strong, stay healthy. All right. Okay, let's try it out now. And I've clicked on preview, go to Facebook, and hey friend, here's something to improve your day. Let me think, what should I choose? And the bot is typing. Yes, it's a quote. Stay strong, stay healthy. Cool, right? That's the way the delay works. Now, the next part for us is user input. And in this part, you can ask your subs for some information and get responses which will be stored in your Manychat system. And let me show you this powerful tool now. Click on user input, and it says enter a question. So for example, guys, let's say we want to verify the age of our subscribers. Okay, we want to store their ages and well, see what's their age. So let's ask them the question, what is your age? Type it down below. Now this is our question, and here's the user input. That's what we want our user to input, okay? And there's the reply type, and we need to choose a number, okay? There are many different choices here, but let me just show you the number one. What is your age? And we reply in numbers. And now the next part is retry message if the answer is invalid. For example, if somebody answers like, my age is 27, he types it down, and then he's gonna get this little, so to say, error fixing message, which is gonna say, please enter a number, use digits only. Okay, that explains the person once again that he needs to use digits only. We can also do it here. So what is your age? Type it down below in digits. So that's gonna maybe help him initially. The next part is skip button text. There's gonna be a little skip button. You're gonna see it. I'm gonna show you to you in a second. And that's the text of the button. If you delete the text here, there's gonna be no skip button. But for user friendliness, let's leave it a skip. Now the next very important part is save response to a custom field. So the person is going to answer with his age, and we want to save it in a custom field, so we have all of the ages saved somewhere. And in order to create a custom field, okay, because I don't have it right here, or actually I have the subscriber age, awesome, I have it here initially, but let me show you how it's created as well. So we go to settings here, just in case. And in the settings, we have the custom fields part. It's here under bot settings. We go to custom fields. And we have the user fields here, the upper part. There's also bot fields, which I'm going to explain you soon. But let's start with the user fields. And we already have the subscriber age. I think I created previously. And again, this is the user field called subscriber age. Type is going to be number. And description is just initial description, the ages of my subs. Now let's go back and see how it works. We have this one ready now. We have subscriber age, this is a custom field. And let's just skip this one, guys. Let's skip this part. We don't need these messages anymore. So let's click on preview to see how it works. Okay, the preview message was sent. Let's go to my Facebook. And awesome, it says, what is your age? Type it down below in digits. Now, for example, I didn't see the digits part, so I say, I am 28 years old. I'm kind of angry here. So please enter number, the bot says. Use digits only. And you remember the skip button? Here it is, but we're not gonna skip, we're gonna say 28. And we have the 28 here. And now it is saved, okay, because we entered it correctly and it was saved in the bot. Now, how do we see where it was saved? We go from flows, we jump to audience, and we have myself, that was just recorded. And we can see here, guys, custom fields of this user, and subscriber age is 28, guys. So all the custom fields you're gonna have, emails, ages, answers to questions, are going to be stored here. That's a very comfortable thing, and you can you should use it, and we are going to use it while using our harvester. So let's go back to flows now. I'm going to go back to our flow. Now let me show you the bot fields that I mentioned before, and in order to get there, we're going to click on settings here, and we're going to go back to custom field. And remember, guys, we had the user fields, and now we have the bot fields. Now what are bot fields? Well, bot fields are variables that store values related to your bot. So for example, you have 20 flows that mention the price of your knife. Now, say Christmas is upcoming and we want to change the price of the knife in all of the flows. Now, we could just go and do it manually, but that would take a lot of time. But since we have the bot fields, we can do it and change it internally from this bot, from the bot field. We can change the price through the bot field. So for example, we have the name of the field as price. Type is going to be a number. The value of a number is going to be $24.95. The description for us is going to be knife price. Now let me show you how we work with it. We're going to go back to our flow and let's delete this previous thing we were working with, and let's type in a text. So for example, there's going to be like a deal. Okay, so let's say there's a deal going on for this knife. Hey friend, listen, there's a super deal going on now, and our Cutter X2 Cutter X2 knife is on sale. The price is, and look at this, guys, we click on these brackets, the smiling brackets, and we're going to use the bot field here. Okay, that's where we pull the bot field from, custom bot field, price. Okay, look at this. The price is, for example, today only. So hurry up. Okay, so we see here, the price is going to be a variable. Okay, and let me show you how it looks. Okay, let's do like a test, send it to our Facebook. And look at this, guys. Hey friend, listen. There's a super deal going on now, and our Cutter X2 knife is on sale. The price is $24.95 today only, so hurry up. You see, guys, it pulled the number from the bot field, and that's how we do it. That's how we play with the bot fields, and that's also a super easy tool to use. And in our review harvester, we're going to be using it for changing our super URLs. We're going to be using super URLs to help our customers find our products, and we're going to use it as a bot field as well. Now, the next part here is dynamic, guys. Now, dynamic is a bit of an advanced thing that we are not going to be using in our review harvester, but just so you know, you can send big chunks of data to your server, work with these chunks of data, and send them back to your bot. We're not going to be using this, but this is a very, very strong tool. But again, we're not going to be using it in our review harvester. So that's the dynamic one. And now let's go see the buttons. So under the messages, you have this option, add button. Each button does different thing. So let me show you some buttons. But before that, let me delete these two. So let's add some text and get creative with our buttons. But before that, let's assume that we're a cooking tools shop. So let's greet our customers. We are a cooking tools shop. Welcome. Okay, and let's add some buttons for them to navigate easier. So the first button, let's say it's gonna be about us. Guys, you gotta see that the maximum amount of characters is 20 in the button title, you see here, and you can add emojis. So for our first button, it's gonna be about us. Let's add an emoji so you see how it looks. You see it appears here. And when this button is pressed, we gotta, for example, send the message. So about us, let's say we are small biz from Toronto. People click this, they get this message. Now, the next button is the open website button. So let's call it our website. And then you can enter your specific URL you need, and whenever people click on that button, they're gonna go to your website. That's very good for brand awareness or maybe customer service as well. Our next button is call number. So for example, let's call us, and you can input your phone number here so people can connect to your company through Manychat. And this is very good for customer service as well. Now guys, just one thing before we continue. If you have 3 buttons, okay, you have 3 buttons here, you cannot have any more, because for each message you can have up to 3 buttons. Now let's add another one. As you can see guys, by button I cannot add it. And why? Because to add a by button you gotta select a proper element: card, gallery, list, image, or a video. So let's say we have a list of products, okay, with pictures and some description. We can add the buy button there so people can buy these products. And you also got to remember that you got to have your Stripe account connected to Manychat if you want to use this button. It is very powerful. The next button is perform actions, and let me show you how it works. For example, let's call this button testimonials. So once people click on that, they can see our testimonials. So let's say perform actions, and when this button is pressed, we're going to perform an action. Now what kinds of actions are there? We can either add tags or remove them, subscribe or unsubscribe people to sequences, mark conversations as open here in live chat, notify admins, set custom fields or clear custom fields. Remember, as with the email custom field we have created before, we can subscribe or unsubscribe people from our bot. We can do an external request, remember, from the external server I was mentioning before, or trigger integromat, which is sort of integrating your Manychat with other software. But for example, let's just simply add a tag to people who clicked on testimonials. And we're gonna say interested in our testimonials. That's gonna be the name of our tag. And then the next step after this happens, say we're gonna send them a message. And in that message, we're gonna say, sure, here's what other clients said. And then you can maybe add a video of a testimonial or some gallery of testimonials, an image, whatever you'd like. So the action was here. So now we know, for people who clicked on testimonials, we know that they're interested in our testimonials. Therefore, they are maybe interested in our services or in our shop furthermore. Okay, they want to see what we are about. They want to see our testimonials. That's pretty good. We can mark it differently to them. Now, let me delete that and show you the next button. Now, our next button is gonna be start another flow. And let's call this button, for example, free ebook, because we have a flow that speaks about a free ebook. Remember, right guys? So whenever this button is going to be pressed, we're going to send a flow of messages to this person. And let me show you an example. So we're going to select the flow, which we have from before, the ebook start. Okay, click on this and then select this flow. So whenever they click on the free ebook, they're going to get the full flow of messages that is called the ebook start, and therefore they can work with it. Okay, now to the next button. And our next button is the condition one. And here is an example. So we'll click on this and let's call this button giveaway. Let me show you something cool. So let's call it giveaway. When this button is pressed, we're going to have a condition and it says, does the user match all of the following conditions? Let's pick some. So we can choose conditions based on tags, on languages, on time zones of people, on their names. For example, let's choose one that is gender. Let's choose a condition by gender, and the condition is male, for example. So it says, does the user match all the following conditions? Gender is male. If the gender is male, and we have a giveaway, right? Then he's gonna get this specific message. Choose the next step. And for our men, for our subscribers who are men, we're gonna have, let's give them, I don't know, maybe a razor blade. Cool, here's your free razor blade. Now, if the condition says that the user is not male, therefore he's a female, she's a female, we're gonna have a different message. For this giveaway, we're gonna give something that is more appropriate for our girls, for the girls who are our subscribers. And I don't know, we gave a free razor blade to our men. Let's give our girls some keychain. Here's your key holder gift. And that's the way the condition works. You can set specific conditions and therefore the message is going to be appropriate. If it's male, he gets this sort of message. If the gender is not male, they get this message. Conditions is a very strong tool as well. Now let's delete these and continue to the next one. Our next button, we have the randomizer. And the randomizer is great for split tests. If you want to check which message, for example, performs better. Let me show you an example. So let's call the button rate us. By clicking this button, we want our people to rate us. And for this, we're going to give them 2 different options of messages. So there's like 50% that they get message number 1 and 50% they get message number 2. So for example, let's choose the next step for option A, and we're gonna have, remember, we wanna ask for feedback, right? Rate us. So let's say one option is to say something like, please rate us by clicking the button below. And this button is gonna drop them, carry them to our website. That's one way we wanna ask for feedback. And then we want to test another way of asking for feedback, and let's say it's going to be something like, dear friend, we really appreciate your help and would love you to support us by leaving feedback. And again, we're going to send them to our website. And this way we can later on see which message got better CTR on the button here, which message performed better. And this way the randomizer works. We can also add another option. For example, option number 3, another message that was going to ask for a feedback. Now, one thing to remember, guys, that the distribution of the percentage here must be 100%. So 33, 33, and 34, for example, that's gonna have 33% of sending the person this message, or 33% the other one. And the randomizer is very powerful for checking what works better. Split testing, guys. Split testing is very good because you're gonna have many different options and ways to do things, and you gotta test. Let's delete them and continue to the next button. Our next button is Smart Delay. And let me show you an example of how to use it well. So let's create a button. Let's call it, again, leave us feedback. This will lead to a message, which is gonna say something like, cool, could you please rate us now? We're gonna have a button that says yes. This button is gonna lead to a website, then they can leave their review. And the other button can be remind me later. Remind me later. Maybe people are busy. Maybe the person is doing something right now. He can't do that. He can't review now, but he has the option remind me later. And after that, for this remind me later, I'm gonna use the smart delay option that is gonna remind him maybe in 1 day. After 1 day, he can get another message, which is gonna remind him of the feedback. So for example, yeah, let's give him maybe not a day, let's give him 1 hour or 3 hours. You can do it 3 hours. There's also this option that says set continued time limit, which is gonna send this message somewhere between these hours in specific days as well, and play with it. And so he doesn't get this message during the night. If maybe he messaged us at 11 p.m., we don't want to message him like 2 a.m. and wake him up. So we're gonna choose like specific daytime hours. For example, let's leave it at 3 hours. And then the next step he's gonna get is a message. I'm gonna say like, hey, just here to remind you about the feedback. And that's the way the smart delay works. There's a smart delay of 3 hours. He asked us to remind him later. That's what the bot does, reminds him later. Very good tool as well. Now let's delete these steps so it doesn't get messy here. And our last button here, guys, is the select existing step. Now look, I don't really use it much because there are much easier ways to select existing steps, and let me show you what I mean. For example, let's create another message. Say we gonna create a new message connected to this one, and you see there's the arrow. The arrows actually connect messages or specific steps. Now let's delete this arrow. And what this specific select existing step does is it simply connects messages. So you click on this and you can connect it to another step. But in my opinion, it's just much faster and easier to do it this way. You can drag and drop, what it's called. You can drag here and connect it this way. That makes it much easier. Now, what else do we have here? We have the quick reply option. What is the difference between quick reply and a button? So the thing is, the button can be clicked a few times. People can go up in their chat and hit the button once again if they want. The quick reply, let's click on it. It's actually going to be pressed only once. So let's say about us, my unique gift. So they can claim the gift only once, for example, and they can click on the message only once. So there's my unique gift, and then here is your gift. And maybe we'll send them to our website to claim the gift. Yeah, but this will be clicked only once, guys. After this, we have the continue to another step here, and that's pretty much the same. You continue, you can either do it with dragging, or again, you can choose next step here, which is again, send message, perform actions, and all the goodies. Besides that, we also have this option here on the right top side, and it's again the same. You can add messages like this, you can perform actions, add all the goodies. Now, one more thing I would like to add is, once you're going to be building your flows and you're going to have many messages and steps, they might get a bit messy. Let's say this one by mistake gets on top of this one. And there's a magic button to so to say, set them all together in a nice place. So like this, you see, up, and it auto-arrange them. I can show you another example. So let's just make some mess here, and let's add this here, let's add this here, let's put it here and put it here. Let's create a spider web of stuff. Now it looks messy. Click on this and voila. Now it's much better. Okay, this one sets everything well. And that is the Flow Builder. So let's recap the lesson, guys. Now we had the Flow Builder and the Basic Builder. I'm all in for the Flow Builder because I find it much easier to use. You can have all the content in front of your eyes. You can visualize the content there. And also you have this bird's eye viewpoint on all the flows you have, and that's just much easier and faster to work with. So I vote for the Flow Builder. Now we have the blocks section, the next section. Which blocks did we have? We had the text block where you can share information using text. Guys, keep your text simple, short, and to the point. You can use emojis to enhance your text. You can use call to actions in your text. You can add curiosity. You can use scarcity in your text. Depends on the situation, but text is a very powerful form of transferring information. Next one is image. Guys, the power of visuals. You can have images to enhance your text, okay? You can have images to help people visualize what you're saying. So you definitely need to use images, and we are going to use images in our review harvester, and we're gonna get to that really soon. The next block is cart, gallery, and lists, a unique way to present your products or services in groupings. Guys, you can have a list of your products with some descriptions and even a buy button to accompany that so people can buy it. A very strong tool, a very strong block as well. You can present your products in a gallery. That's very nice. If you're launching a new product, you can have a gallery of this new product, saying all sorts of things about this product, what it improves for the customers. Very interesting. Next block is audio, video, and files. Use these to enhance your message. You can add video, testimonials perhaps. You can use files as free ebooks or just stuff like valuable stuff in audio, video, or files format to aid your subscribers. Very strong block as well. Next one is user input. Gather more information about your subscribers with this tool. People can input their emails and maybe their ages. We then store this information in our specific fields for this information. So we can have all the emails stored in one field and then use it for our marketing needs and generally for profiting more and delivering more value. Now we have the delay block, which is humanize your bot. We can have a delay between all sorts of messages. So for the person seeing that, it's gonna appear as somebody typing a message. So this will look like it's not a bot, like it's a human doing all the stuff. And this helps you with your conversions. The next block is the dynamic one. We can get information from external servers. Now this one is a bit more advanced, as I've mentioned before. But again, you can send big chunks of data to your Manychat, which saves you time and can enhance the work of your bot. And now let's recap the buttons we have. Our first button is send message, create additional messages. So for example, we had the About Us button. Whenever people click on this button, they get an additional message explaining them about us. That's our first kind of button. The next one is open website. Open your website by click of a button. So people click on this button and they are sent to the URL that you have specified going to your website. Number 3 is call number. Call number by click of a button. So again, people click on your button and they can have the option to call you, to call the number that you have added to Manychat. And this one is very powerful, for example, for customer service. Next is the buy button. Receive payments in your messenger. So if you have your messenger integrated with Stripe, with the paying system Stripe, you can use the buy button. And for example, you can create a gallery of products, okay, with images and some description, add a buy button underneath, and then people can buy these products. Next is the perform actions. Enhance the automation of your bot. So guys, when something happens on Manychat, the following action will be performed. So an example here, we had the testimonials button, right? So people click on testimonials and then an action happens which adds a tag to these people called, what was that? Interested in testimonials. And then we send them the other message showing some testimonials. But the idea here is now we know that the person is interested in seeing our testimonials, therefore he's interested in our company, and we have also tagged him, so we know, now we remember him. And that's the perform actions. Very strong tool, guys. We're going to be using it a lot in our harvester. Next one is start another flow. Move your subscriber to another flow by a click of a button. So again, they click on a button. For example, we had the free ebook, clicks on this, and we have a pre-made flow called ebook where he gets assigned to, and he gets these messages to his chat. The next button is condition. My bot, my conditions. Guys, we use this tool whenever we need to send our subs down to perhaps different path depending on some requirements. So for example, our condition is the user is male. If our users are male, they're gonna get one kind of messages. If the user is a female, then they're gonna get a different message. And that's a condition, guys. Very strong tool. Again, we're gonna be using it in our harvester. Next is the randomizer. Create split tests to improve the performance of your bot. Let's say we have a message that asks for a review. We can split test it with the randomizer to see which kind of message brings more reviews, brings more CTR to our buttons. That's the randomizer. And finally, the smart delay, guys. Set up a delay between your messages. Again, we can have a message asking a person something and have an option maybe to remind him later. If he clicks on this button, we're gonna have a smart delay, and maybe we're gonna remind him after a day. We're gonna send him an automatic message after a day because the smart delay had him for a day. And that's it for the buttons, guys. And finally, let's get and do the review harvester. Let's start review harvester, let's create it and get you some reviews really soon. Let's go.